All righty, guys. Good evening, and good Friday. And we are here back on my channel here, and I'm with my homie Bob Jones. What's up, bro?
What up, players? How y'all doing?
Hey, we have had an interesting 2 weeks, especially with gaming debacles left and right.
Oh man, all I
You
gotta
know,
say is,
so Sony said, "Here, let's." Sony said, "Let's just decide to say, hold my beer." They said, "Oh, we're going to censor Stellar Blade." They're like, "Nah, that's not going to top it. We're going to censor Tsukihime." No, 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 no. We're just going to require all Hell Diver people to have the PSN accounts now.
yeah,
Boom.
like, hey,
now, granted, I will say, while they were supposed to launch that originally, um,
there's a lot of
yeah,
players who wouldn't have bought the game, myself included, if I knew I was going to have to switch to like having a PSN account. I would
hmm
have never bought it, dude. I'd have been like, yeah, I'm good player. I'm there we go. I hope this works. I hope I don't knock over the Super Nintendo and like damage something. This is literally the Super Nintendo I've had since I was in like fifth or sixth grade, seventh grade.
yeah,
So, I,
yeah. It's just been a very very interesting
experience.
experience. Yeah, minus that stuff, I've been getting into a lot of the VTubing people. I've been following some great creators here on Twitch. Want to give a shout out to my friends Matakari Khan, Limes, and my favorite YouTuber Fenrin. She also made Twitch partnerships. So, we're gonna talk gaming tonight. We're gonna talk some DC reviews. I watched the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Volume
Spoiler
Two.
free because I need to see this.
Yep, spoiler free. It is going to be spoiler free. But yeah, Bob hasn't seen it yet, but we're going to talk about it. They did make some changes, but I think what they did was very good. But
Well, I mean, can we now, because he's proven he could do the voice, get live action Jensen Ankles as Batman, please? The
yeah,
man's gotten, he's gotten too old to play Jason Todd, but he can still play Batman, and he's put in the work. He's proven he can do the voice.
yeah, 100%. I think Jensen Ackles definitely. I still think he could play a good Red Hood. Uh, even though he's older now, I think he could still do a good Red Hood. But I definitely think now, like if they kind of wanted a Bruce Wayne that was kind of mid 30s, I definitely think he
Yeah.
would be a better choice than Robert Patterson.
Oh, dude. Let me don't get me wrong. Patterson did an all right job. I just feel like the movie spent too much time trying to push a message.
Yeah, yeah,
Like every time it started to actually feel like a Batman movie, I felt like they had to pull away to the message. Does that make sense?
no, 100%. I agree. Don't get me wrong. Like I think that I think Patterson did a great job as a early Batman, but I think I don't know. I think the problem was the movie got too watered down, being sanctimonious. That Thomas Wayne was like he really was. Thomas Wayne was more the hero than Batman was. Because Thomas Wayne gave his life for Gotham City.
Yeah. No.
you know, and
And
they literally just shat on him the entire time.
well, and let us not forget how virtually throughout the whole movie they spent every waking moment, every time the actual action happened, they were always pulling you away to something you cared nothing about. Like,
Yeah,
okay, I get Selena Kyle was Falcone's daughter and this, that, and the other. It could have been really well done if they had just wrapped it up in 5 minutes. instead of wasting half the movie on that.
Oh, I agree. I agree completely. I
I
think
will say, you know, I feel like the movie made me appreciate Jim Carrey's Riddler more.
hmm
Because I went back and watched Batman Forever recently, like literally like a week after watching the Batman again. And it really, like, when you watch Jim Carrey's Riddler, while yes, he seems zany and this, that, and the other, when you really sit down and like watch it, he's subtly really creepy.
well, he
Really creepy.
Riddler. That's the thing is people don't realize Riddler really was a he was while he had a lot of elements from the Joker, he was different. You know what I mean? He was the more sane version. Like Joker's the insane version. Riddler was okay. Well, I can crack these jokes, and I'm gonna test you as Batman because you're the greatest detective, supposedly this greatest detective. I'm gonna puzzle
Well,
you. I'm gonna try to puzzle you and stump you, but at the same time, I have homicidal tendencies.
well, I mean, think about it. What was Nigma's big plan in Batman Forever? He wanted to become the smartest being alive. That is such a Nigma thing. Like, that is literally something Edward Nigma would do in the comics.
Yeah,
Like, and he would team up with Two Face for a bit of muscle. Now, was Tommy Lee Jones's Two Face bit cartoony? Yes. Do I think Tommy Lee Jones should have played him a bit creepier like Jim Carrey played his Riddler? Yes.
yeah.
I
He was too over the. Well, see, and again, like I'm not gonna blame it on Schumacher. 'Cause I know a lot of people give Batman Forever hate because of Schumacher. Schumacher did not want to do it the way they had it. Like he wanted it dark, like Batman Returns. And
apparently he
yeah,
does. There was a Schumacher cut, and apparently it has been seen by Kevin Smith. And there are people who are trying to get the Schumacher cut released because apparently there was supposed to be a big deal about the Red Diary of his father's that was completely left out. Though, and it was supposed to be like a really dark movie.
yeah. Well, but the thing is, the part of the reason why, like, he didn't want to, and he actually didn't even want to do Batman. It's his kids that and yes, he was gay and he had kids still, you know. But he did it, and that's the same thing with Tommy Lee Jones. He also did it because of his kids.
Well,
So
and dude, I always thought Val Kilmer's Batman is always slept on. Like, I always thought he did a great Batman because, like, I always felt like it felt like his Batman. Like, okay, Keaton's Batman
horrible.
and his
So here,
like
go, go ahead.
Keaton did a better Batman. His Bruce Wayne just kind of felt like Batman, but with the normal voice.
Right.
Calmer, I felt, did a good Batman and Bruce Wayne. They both felt like separate people for the most part. There were moments where it felt like there was bleed over, but for the most part, they felt like two different people. We're not going to talk about Clooney. I don't blame him. Like a lot of
So
people get.
this is my thought I've always had. For me, Keaton was always the best Batman overall. Now I'm not counting I'm not counting what Kevin Conroy. I'm just talking about live action. Keaton
Oh,
had the best overall. Yes. Does his Bruce Wayne have some issues?
yes.
Yes. Too
You want to get
brooding.
that? Let's get
Now
Bruce.
Val Kilmer, I thought made a great Batman, but a horrible Bruce Wayne.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I did not feel I didn't like his Bruce Wayne. Oh, and Clooney was a horrible Batman, but a great Bruce Wayne.
I could see that. He did do a solid Wayne.
Yeah, like, and that's the problem. Like Superman, like it's trying to get these identities down packed. Because there's so much, all these different roles. Because I mean, even when you throw Kevin Conroy in there, like when you hear him, he is primarily you always saw him
Let's see if I
as
can do this.
Batman.
Let me get some coffee real quick. One sec.
Yeah,
The thing about Kevin Conroy's Batman was the fact that his Bruce Wayne had a very unique voice to him. But then when he went to full Batman, you knew you had messed up.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there
I
was
think I'm getting close to his Bruce Wayne and Batman. I need more work, but I'm getting them close.
um, yeah, there is like, and that's the thing is you look at it even on the Superman side. So you look at, so to me, you look at I look at
Mm, sorry, but Henry Cavill.
Robert Patterson, and I look at him and I'm like, okay, he did a fairly decent Batman for a year
Eh,
one,
yeah,
and
I give
like,
him that,
but I think his Bruce Wayne was just horrible. I
dude.
look at
It's
I
coming
look at
with Edge Lordy. I
yeah,
do love
well then
those sunglasses, though. The sunglasses he put on when he came down to talk to the Wayne people, the Wayne accountants and everything. I looked them up. They're like $300 sunglasses, and if I had money to blow like that, you best believe I would have bought these sunglasses.
like I didn't care for now um with what's his name Christian Bale. Like my problem is I thought he played a great Bruce Wayne. I thought he was good as Batman too. I think what took me out of him playing fully Batman, I did not care for the you wanna
I was
like
about to do that too. Come, let's see if I can do it. It's not what you do that defines, or what, not who you are on the inside that
yeah
defines you, but what you do that defines you.
yeah. So
Fine.
like I particularly didn't care for like I thought Christian Bale was great. Don't get me wrong, but when I think when I can't like when I look at him to Michael Keaton as Batman, I don't know what it was, Michael, and it might be just nostalgia because of how much I grew up
To be
idolizing.
fair, to be fair, the OG '89 Batman has aged really well.
Yeah, it has.
Like
It's
I
so
recently
has.
watched that again. Like, cause let's be honest. All right, so full disclosure, my buddy's shop, someone had brought in the all the '90s movies on
Hmm.
Blu-ray in a 4-pack. Fucking gorgeous 4-pack too, and it's all of them on Blu-ray.
Nice.
And so I'm like, well, shit, yeah. Let me watch these again, just because I got them on Blu-ray. And I put in the first one, and I really sat down and like enjoy. Oh, I also finally saw Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
was a
good
good
old
movie
on
too.
that. Yeah. Hey, dude, I got to show
Ooh,
you this. Now, besides the foot off here, just to let people know, I've actually been getting some concept art doing here in. Yes, I know the disastrous AI, but here's the thing, people. While I'm using AI, it's concept art that I'm using to take to my artist that I want to have done. But check this out, dude. You got to see this. Besides the leg, I thought that's pretty cool.
that was yeah, I like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the leg
The
behind here
symbol was flashy,
is.
but you can get by that. That can be fixed. Um,
Would you say?
his symbol, it looks very flashy,
Yeah, yeah. You can.
like the
I can
flag.
redesign. Yeah, you can redesign that with the two lightning bolts opposite of each other.
But mm, 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 mm. I will say it is at least looking somewhat like really. You're getting good ideas.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well.
that thing gave you
Oh.
your profile. I mean, I'm just saying.
Dude, check this
But
one out.
well, you're showing me that. So, can we all accept? that James Earl Jones in Conan the Barbarian is slept on as a villain?
Oh yes, 100%. 100%. I would agree that that he is looked down upon. He played that. That's the thing is like if you really think about it, James Earl Jones doesn't play just a good guy. He plays a great bad guys too.
Oh my goodness, no! Like the whole part, like the way he comes up to Conan, I will address you now. Like he's
Yeah,
a child. Oh,
yeah,
and then when Conan's like, "You killed my parents, open in my young and reckless days, back when I thought the only way to spread my reign was through steel."
I tell you what, man. When he passes, like the world's gonna we're gonna mourn because James Earl
Dude, well,
Jones.
that's literally like this whole scene is like he delivers one of the coldest lines. What's gonna
Yeah.
be stronger than steel? Flesh, boy, flesh. What? See that beautiful thing there? Come here. Lady jumps to her death. That boy, that is the power of flesh. That is something steel cannot get you. And like you're looking at this like, holy shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
This man is cold! Oh! My
Yepers.
son has returned.
Yepers. All right, let's stop screen sharing there.
Such a slept on villain. Well, we're about to have more storms
Oh,
coming.
oh, you guys are getting more tornadoes.
Probably. And I laugh because, like, you can tell I've lived in Oklahoma so long where literally we had a bunch of tornadoes touching down all across the state. I'm like, okay. And it's like literally that one Top Gun meme where it's like, oh, okay. Anyways. And I would literally just went to bed. Not even worried about it. I was streaming and like everybody's calling me, like my buddy called me, and then while I'm on the phone with him, somebody else called me, so I stopped the stream because apparently we're under storm. Because I knew this is how it was going to be because I've got so many friends who are from out of state
Uh huh.
that are not used to it.
We get them pretty bad here.
No, but do
So
you get the naders, my friend? Do you get the
yeah,
tornadoes?
we get tornadoes. Actually, we had back end of last year. We actually had a a F2 touchdown right in the center of Harrisburg, destroying some stuff.
Oh wow. Yeah, no. There's a joke in Oklahoma where more is once again no more because of how many times more has been destroyed by a tornado. I'm just saying. Like, you can tell you've lived in tornado country too long when you think we are playing when we post memes of mother truckers out on their front porch waiting on the tornado with them like, where is this mother trucker at? They done told me a twister was touching down and I don't see ish. Done weatherman lied to me again. Get my family worked up. They in town from Cincinnati and they don't know nothing about no tornadoes.
All right, I had a my I had to reformat, but I had to get a new hard drive for my Legion Go, so I had to
Since
yeah.
I had that tooth pulled, I'm having a Pop Tart for dinner.
Like, why the hell is Teams still on my computer? I don't
Huh?
have. Yeah, why is Teams installed here? That's some bullshit.
Because that's
Yeah,
what
what the
this
hell?
is pulled in the 86 file.
The hell? Get out of my computer, Teams. You're not on my. You're not on this. This is a. You are not on my computer. I don't care.
What, bud?
Anyhow, yeah. So, So let's come back to like this whole gaming thing. It's like I this is why I put out the tweet saying about how gaming companies do not care about fans at all. Uh,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
I
They
would I would
no.
not consider I would not, just give me a second. Let me finish my thought, and I'll come to you here. So a lot of people talking about Helldivers and how great it is, and it looks really fun. Looks like a cool game. Gives me the whole, Starship Troopers vibe and stuff like that. And I think if it was just Arrowhead producing it, it wouldn't be much of a problem. But the fact that Sony touches the thing is what gives me vibes of it technically being a AAA game because
Yep.
Sony put their hands on it.
Hmm.
And this whole thing with Sony not liking why are they censoring games from Asia, but but they allow Western games like Hades, Baldur's Gate 3, Last of Us. Who in their right mind would censor their stuff? And Aniplex is this is the thing that baffles my mind. Aniplex is under the Sony brand, but they're censoring it on the PS4, but they're not on the Switch.
I can tell you why. Because Sony America has long since been infiltrated by DEI. Because Sony America is, if I remember right, BlackRock is a large shareholder in Sony.
Yeah, that's true.
And they push Sony America to do a lot of the censoring because they want America to accept the DEI ESG. It's look at it like this. If America falls literally, like everything happens, like we're no longer land of the free, home of the brave, which we really aren't, then the rest of the world has nowhere to run to for freedom. If we don't know freedom within our media, because they are all designed to push the same ESGDEI narrative,
Hmm.
then we are unable to know true freedom. World has nowhere to run to. And if small companies that are coming, like, let's be honest, Sony could easily back down, okay? Because Sony ain't the one that's going to be taking the financial hit. Sony knows the move that they're doing, and they know that when they do it, it's like that. Take that one tweet I sent you earlier. Like, let me bring it up right now, okay?
Hmm.
Frequently asked questions. All right. Do I have to sign into a PSN to play PlayStation game on PC? Signing into PlayStation Network is optional when playing a PlayStation game on PC.
Go ahead and
Now,
share the tweet. Go ahead and share the tweet, man.
like, you're gonna share it?
No, go ahead. You can.
Oh, okay. How do I do it? Give me a sec. Let me make sure I'm getting the right one.
How do
Video.
I actually put that so?
Yes. Okay. Right there. Okay.
Is it shared?
Mm-hmm. I'm sharing.
Okay.
Um,
I'm not seeing it on my side. That's why.
I should have been. It's on there.
All right. Let me see if it's showing on. I'm just waiting for Twitch to catch up.
No, you gotta approve it on.
I didn't get approved.
Like it's
I
on the
didn't get.
side under me. You
Yeah,
gotta
I don't have an. I don't have an approval for you though.
like it says I'm in the show. No, I'm saying you gotta click on it like you're adding a person. Or
Oh, I guess add source. Nope. That share screen. No, it's not giving me that option. That's weird.
Hold up, hold up. Let's try it like this. Ah, well, screwed it up. Nope, because
That's
it's
that's weird that it did that. All right, I'm trying to move around here and see if it will do that.
like yeah, it uh
Yeah, I know. Normally, you get the little pop up to approve it, but yeah, for some reason, why it didn't approve? It did not
I just stopped
approve.
sharing.
I
Let
did not. It did not approve. Well, that sucks.
me try again.
Yeah. So yeah. Give me a second here, folks. We are experiencing some technical difficulties.
That sounds about right. All
Yeah,
right.
there we go. There we go. Now it finally popped up.
Okay.
There we
So
go.
this is the original. All right, the one I first read. Do I have to sign in? No. All right, this is optional. This is now. Do I have to sign in? Some PlayStation games may require you to sign in and link to a PSN account. Just saying.
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous that they did this. Like you had these and this is why I keep coming back to these companies do not care. It's going to come down to all of the companies eventually because they're going to be controlled by the big three. Microsoft. Uh, you know, well, EA. I would say the big three, but I think really it's going to come down
And,
to
oops, busted.
yeah, as busted. Eh,
All
eh,
right,
eh.
there we go. I'm just saying, dude, this whole thing just is literally Sony trying to flex on gamers because they don't think gamers will do shit about it. And to an extent, I kind of feel like if it were console only problem,
Mhm.
they'd have a point.
But
Was
that's the thing is, yeah, I don't think PC, in my opinion, I don't think PC should be requiring. In my
that's the
opinion, should
point
be
I'm
should
making. It's a PC game, and they just tried to do the dumbest thing you can do.
yeah.
They just tried to force PC gamers into a box. PC gamers, the guys that literally will purposely break DRM in games just because you said, "Oh, we made this DRM unbreakable." They will do things like strip out the unneeded bloat from a lot of the new games simply so they can give a middle finger to these companies who add all that extra in to make it
Yep.
hard for the game to be pirated. All
Yep.
right. We're talking about people who will mod games because they want to play the same game for the 1329th time, but they're tired of playing it the same way. So they decided to update it with a bunch of modern mods, new storylines, and 50 million other things just so they can play Skyrim again. And you think, don't you really think you're going to push PC gamers around into signing on to the PlayStation Network? People who were playing it on the freaking computer specifically because we were like, we don't want a freaking PS5. But no, Sony in its hubris decided it was going to be, the one to try to tell gamers where it is and to put them in their space. When gamers, if I remember right, got found a way to pull out the whole data sharing thing in the one like freaking Sam Whitmore zombie game that was on the PS4 that they moved to the, you know what I mean, moved to Steam. You know the one I'm
Last
talking about.
Last of Us,
Not Last of Us. The other one. The one that had Star Killer.
Dead Island.
Not Dead Island. Something like I don't remember. But Point being, all right, that PC gamers only have so much of a limit, all right,
Yeah.
before they tell you to go McChuck yourself with a 10-foot long exploding phallic device, okay? And the whole point that Sony is going to be learning now, they just decided to step in it and pick a fight with the very people who are known to say, yeah, we'll just uninstall and play something else. At
Yeah.
least until we can find a workaround where we don't need to actually sign into the PlayStation Network, even if it's one that just makes it to where we can play amongst ourselves, we'll do that and we'll tell you to go screw yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really believe that gamers are going to. I think you're going to have your guys that are going to shill. Like I'll be honest with you. I bought Stellar Blade before, like all because I had faith that the Sony wasn't going to do it. You know, because I there are certain games that they've let slip through and stuff like that on certain times. But then after I bought it, and I had already opened it up and installed it, of course, then finding out it is censored. I'm like, well, I can't return it now because you can't once you reopen a game, you can't return it.
Yep.
So, and it's like, I'm like, they did it on purpose. They knew that they were going to get those sales beforehand, and it was just quietly they snuck it in the
Well, and,
last.
and, and, and here's my thing. I funny thought that you say that because that might they just did that with another game. People might actually, if they have refunds, might demand a class action lawsuit against Sony, and Sony might end up being in big old
Well,
Bantaku.
well, they're in a lot of trouble right now because they just got recently hacked again,
And
and
that
that's
doesn't
another.
people when they wonder why no one wants to have a PlayStation Network account.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't get Sony. Okay, so I am as Bob knows, and unfortunately a lot of people don't know, I'm in IT. I actually have a degree in cybersecurity. Okay, and I went to school for it, got a master's degree and everything for it, and I've been in IT over 25 years. They can harden the systems if they wanted to.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
you're not gonna stop 100% hacking, but uh,
Well, it's like
Sony, somebody
one of the
somebody
worst
just put
things
it in a
I know you can do, and Sony fucking probably does this internally, all right? Because so many companies do this internally. Okay, Sony probably has rotating passwords where every X amount of time you got to change the password, and like it frustrates me because there are things I have to use at work that require that. And I keep complaining, I keep telling them, do you not realize that is more dangerous than actually having us just create a unique, strong password and then leave it the truck alone? Oh, no, man, no. The system's designed that way to prevent hacking. I'm like, okay. So what do people do when they have to continuously change a password? They just create a generic password and add one, two, three, or you know what I mean, and just go through and then reset or add a number after that. All a hacker has to do is find the base password and figure out which numerical value you're at. And
that
that's
well,
easy.
and that's why we've always told people like if you're gonna use a word, like so for instance, let's say your word was
Joe Bojangle.
yeah, Joe Bojangle. Don't just put Joe Bojangle in there. You want to put in there exclamation marks. You want to put numbers, but instead of like the O in
Spell it
Joe,
like you're
you
spelling a meme.
you put a zero in the
Yeah,
place of an
spell
O.
it like you're spelling a meme where you're trying to
Yeah,
be funny and like you're trying to swear or something without actually swearing. So you put some things in there that are that obviously represent the letter for that, but aren't technically that letter, but you can still read it easily of what it is.
Yeah, so and that's the thing is like like, and I work with guys that are I work with people who are not the sharpest tool in the shed because they're
I
not
mean,
these are guys that are working heavy machinery and stuff like that. They're not tech oriented guys. So what we do is what we always tell them the easiest thing to do is take a I said don't take a name. You want to take a word like something, like
oh
take
my
your favorite
god,
sports
no,
team.
I'm still stuck on the heavy lifting, like guys that work with heavy machinery. I used to work construction and whatnot back in the day as a painter and whatnot.
Dude, I'm
Uh,
in
Use
Pennsylvania.
heavy machinery in like warehouse, like back warehouse of Walmart and so on and so forth.
No, 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 no. I'm talking. I am talking. What I am talking about is the guys that are doing the roads, like paving
Oh,
the
gotcha,
road.
gotcha. I was supposed to be like,
Yeah.
you do realize, and even them, they're probably a lot smarter than you give them credit for. They're just not
No,
quite smart.
they're not tech smart. I'm not saying they're stupid at all. Don't get me wrong. No, they are just not tech people at all. The guys, you want to talk road construction, they do the heavy lifting.
Oh no, you
Major
want to talk
props.
about build most things? Those guys can tell you probably how to build just about anything, dude.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, but they have a different type of smarts.
Oh yeah, the
So
different skill set. Like
so
and
so
technology, unless it's related to their job, they really don't want to know it. They know their PlayStation, but that's when they got time to sit in front of the TV and actually play it.
well, most of the guys I do are older guys. They're not PlayStation people and stuff like that. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, so when you're training people, you have to teach them like in order to in order to make sure that you have at least a password that is um, unhackable or less hackable, let's say, because you can't really you can't ever say it can never be hacked. But what happens is if you make them do special characters, and I usually tell them, do like like the first character, do a number, and then do whatever the word is or whatever you want to do, and then put some special characters in there. And I usually tell them, don't just use one special character, put multiple ones in there because that's going to protect you even more. I said that it's also easier for you to remember the password because all you have to remember it's so I have one and whatever my main phrase is, and then maybe an exclamation mark and a period, and then some numbers or something like that. And I find a lot of times that they tend to remember that stuff because it's memorable for them. It's just adding and changing those characters and stuff like that that allow them to uh, make it easier for them. If you understand what I mean.
Oh yeah. No man, I don't know. What you say? I'm dumb. God.
But yeah, so like I just don't get why Sony, a major conglomerate, who just I'm starting to wonder if it's not an inside job.
I mean, bro, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, when you have a lot of these companies hiring people, first off, think about corporate America and the structure of corporate America. All
Yeah,
right.
well, that's true. Yeah.
All right. If you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, you could probably get a job in an area. All right. Problem though, even then, used to be if you screwed up, it looked bad on them. Now it's if you screw up, it looks bad on you, unless you're able to deflect well enough to make it the guy above you's fault. Then you get that guy's job, but you don't really know how to do that job. So you're going to blame the guy above you and get their job, but you don't know how to do that job. So you're going to blame the guy above you, and you just ride all the way up until you're in a position of actual power. And then, while you don't know what you're doing to actually help the company, you can push all the ideas you want because you're now at this great position making all this money, and who's going to tell you no?
Well, and that's the thing is they don't farm loyalty from within anymore, and that's another problem. So but and that's the thing is, we are in this age again. I love games. Bob, you and I, we've been, I'm a little bit older than you, but still, we've been playing games for well over 20 some years. You
Oh, dude.
know,
I all I gotta say is I remember picking up my first controller being an Atari 2600.
same thing. Atari 2600. I was playing. My cousin had Missile Command.
Dude, Pitfall. I think we had Strategic Command 2. We had a couple other ones, but the main one I played was Pitfall. Don't ask me why I like Pitfall.
Yeah, hey, it was a fun game. So and then when I was 16, our house parents got a 7800 at Milton Hershey. We got a 7800, and we had Pitfall, and we had to earn do chores and earn time. And then my first system that I physically owned was a Game Boy that I got from the year I was a uh, camp counselor and a lifeguard at a Christian camp, which is also the same summer I became a Christian. But from there, then when I was a freshman in college, I had a Super NES, and when I would go home for college, I would go to the we had a video store, and I would rent out the NES from them. So yeah, so
Dude, funny you say the Super Nintendo. Guess what I'm playing right now?
the Super Nintendo N64.
No, just
So
the Super. I'm playing Legend of Gaia.
oh, okay. So and here we are, and you could one could argue that I think we're no longer living in a time where these companies uh all they care about is the next. They're kind of like the way corporates are, major corporations are. All they care about is the next dollar. They don't care
Well,
about the
you gotta
gamers.
you gotta figure it's what happens to all things. Like the minute it people realize that there is a profit that can be made here, they immediately go, well, let's make money. There's a untapped market here. Let's tap into it and you know basically get what they can from the system and then dip.
Yeah,
Because
true.
they will strip everything that has value within the community and leave it just lowest common denominator filth that isn't fun to watch, isn't fun to read, isn't fun to play, whatever. Like,
Hmm.
take Magic the Gathering. Yeah, there's still people that play Magic the Gathering. Yeah, there's still new players, but the community is a fraction of the size of what it was because one of us old heads who used to every now and then come back to Magic and get back to playing are now like, they went woke. I'm not putting my money there. All right. Same thing with like comics, same thing with a lot of movies that are coming out of Hollywood, same thing with, video games as you're seeing, same thing with whatever. The minute that the corporations see that there is money to be had in an area, they swoop in like vultures, gobble it up, and destroy it. Because what makes that industry thrive is counter and productive to what corporations need to thrive.
Yeah.
Does that make
Well,
sense?
yeah, we're like point in case. Like this is the thing that frustrates me. So here we are. We got Stellar Blade, and we also got you know Legend of Tsukihime, which by the Tsukihime, uh, which by the way, you cannot get the original version of Tsukihime from on PC. You have to sail the high seas with an English patch.
Sounds about right.
So now they did a re-release and they decide to Aniplex decide to based off a fan once to bring it here to America. It's rated M. Okay, and you know about me. Even though I'm a Christian, I do not like censorship because how and you and I've had this discussion before. How soon will if we censor stuff, even if we don't like it, they censor stuff like this? How long is it before they come after the Bible for its problematic stuff? Well,
Well,
they've
dude,
already started.
they already are. Think about it.
Yeah,
The next bill that's coming out, there are passages in the Bible that could very easily be taken as anti-Semitic, and it will be. And I'm just like, I mean, it's
not
one
not just
day,
not just and not just
regardless of
anti.
what you say, they're going to do it. So if I'm going to sit there and just fall on the side of principle of, well, when it comes to censorship, as long as it's not pornography, I'm not really going to say anything. As long as it's, what I mean, properly marketed to the group it's supposed to be marketed to, I'm not going to say anything. But beyond that, dude, if it's one lesson I have learned over the years, I don't give benefit of the doubt to these corporations. If I had known, like I said, that the Sony, had so much sway over the decision making at Arrowhead, I would not have gotten Helldivers 2. I would have laughed and said, "Nice try, Sony. Not falling for it."
Yeah, and here we are. I just gotta wonder. I mean, they're not gonna backpedal about requiring a thing because Sony wants to do their own launcher. And they've talked about it, so they're not gonna backpedal on it. But I gotta wonder how much they're gonna lose money from like people requesting refunds.
Well, and if I remember right, there is a clause in the Steam contract about changing terms of service like that because this has happened before, and Steam went, "We're not being caught in this again." To where, if I remember right, there is a clause where if you change the contract like that, Steam will just refund. Like, if you ask for it, Steam will give you a refund. I'm not sure. It's probably still in the stages where they're debating on if they should do it or not, because judging outcry. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
But at the same time, I kind of think with how things are, the Rubicon has been crossed. They Sony has to either stick to their decision and launch a launcher that's going to fail because they just pissed off the very people that they need to get the launcher.
yeah,
What good is a launcher on PC if you only have PlayStation guys that are wanting you around? If you are too stupid to realize that you had built up goodwill with Helldivers soon, if you just this is that classic take a knee situation that I tell people. When it looks like you're gonna win, take a knee. If you've got it in the bag, take a knee. Because the minute you start doing too much, the minute you lose that win.
yep,
What happened? They were doing too much, and now it looks like they're gonna be snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is, now, my view is I just don't think anything should be censored for the most part, unless it's, if you're marketing to somebody under age of 18, you know what? Yeah, you're gonna get in trouble. I believe that. But if it's a mature game that an 18-year-old can pick up and stuff like that, there should be no censorship at
Well,
all.
I like I said, there was a time where I would have agreed with you, but there, like I said, at the same time, Well. Also, at the same time, depends on what's being censored. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this is like okay, so a little bit of cheese in game. Like, apparently there was like not even actual nudity. It was just cheese.
not in Stellar Blade. No, there wasn't none at
So,
all.
like, everyone complaining, saying this is Sony being more realistic. Once more, I'm sorry, but Sony has to eat it on that one. They have to just admit, okay, maybe we overstepped the boundaries. But
But well, see, and this is what I don't get. Why? I mean, somebody to me, it has to be. I just come back to it has to be some sort of racism somewhere because why does it always seem to be the Japanese games that or the Asian games that get censored, but you don't see any American games getting censored like that?
well, one,
Look at Cyberpunk,
oh,
Witcher,
yeah, I'm not arguing that. I was about to give you.
Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, you can literally have freaking sex on the screen.
Yeah, and that's the I should have. Oh, that's the point I was about to make for you, my friend. So Baldur's Gate pushes the fucking sorry, pushes the message. All right, where The Last of Us Two pushes the message. All right, sexy Korean lady does not push the message. Sexy Korean lady is the exact opposite of the message. Got a censor, pretty Korean lady. And on top of that, I mean, dude, come on, bro. You look at most of these individuals, I'm going to be real with you. Most of them, you look at them and you can kind of tell why they want it censored, all right? They all literally are like literally built like it's the best way I could put it. They're built like Olaf from Saints Row the Third. All right, I'm just gonna be real with you. A lot of them are built so much like men, it's not even funny, and so they're mad at Pretty Women. They're
Yeah,
literally mad at Pretty Women because they are not pretty. So they have to erase Pretty Women. And if you look at the same, like, okay, why is it that when you find out the people behind the freaking censorship, why do they always look the same? I'm just saying. Why
yeah,
why do we have jokes where you could just show the for instance uh, a picture of a nose ring? It doesn't have to be on anyone, just a picture of a nose ring, and people will know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah,
I'm just saying, these people have infiltrated the various freaking companies and whatnot through knowing somebody, and because they got in through uh, not basically because they got in through knowing somebody not actually on merit, they like I said they're just there to push a message. That's all they're there to do. I'm sorry to say it, dude, but unfortunately, a lot of these companies the past 10 years, when I may not have known you through all of it, but as soon as SJWs came on the scene, I knew exactly what was up. All right, because they were always moral busybodies who just were constantly. The best way I can describe it, they were always people looking for new thing to be offended by.
hmm,
And people like that this is exactly what they do. They move in, they take out the people who are there, like company wise, not like the fandom, but like they take over positions at the company because they're able to bullshit their way into high enough managerial positions, even though they don't really belong in that position and they'll be bad for the company. They were just able to lie better than anyone else on what they would do if
yeah,
given the job.
Yeah.
You know,
So
then you have the blatant like BlackRock hires and so on and so forth that happen. I mean, though that happens too. You can't forget that. I mean, and if you were to tell me once again, like I said, that BlackRock has a bunch of stock in Sony, I'd be like, not surprised. It's actually kind of obvious at this point.
give me a
Rant
second here.
over, rant over. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Nope. Nope. I'm just
Not
oh,
going on a
I,
rant
I
here.
got a message.
You're fine. I am playing me some wet tricks. And all I gotta say to anyone who played this game back in the day knows how baller this game is. Not even gonna act like it isn't. Like I need to get Wetrix Plus for the Dreamcast. That was what I played this on originally, dude. Like,
Uh, uh, yeah. Yeah. I think as of right now, and this is why I think a lot of people are going back to the older games and older shows and older, just older media overall in general because they
they're sick and tired of the bait and switch. They're sick and tired of, oh, well, we're going to give you this game that you've been demanding, and then soon as you buy the game, ha! You actually believed us?
yeah
How stupid are you? We lie. That's what we do. That's our thing. You'd think you'd learned by now. And the thing is, PC gamers started to wise up. Took a while, but they started to wise up. Now the console gamers are starting to realize they have to start doing what the PC gamers start doing. They have to start finding workarounds for the consoles because they can't keep doing this. I think this is starting to be these things are going to be a big wake up call sooner or later.
yeah. Hopefully, let's hope. Alrighty. Well, it is 10 o'clock my time, and I got an early date tomorrow, so I figured we'd wrap it up here.
I mean, I
So,
too got to be to work at 9:30.
so, all right, Bob. Where can people follow you, sir?
As always, you can find me on the YouTubes at a nerd and over 30. And if you want to find me on the Twitters, you can find me at Brainiac420. And if you want to follow me everywhere else, if I remember right, pretty much everywhere else now has been set to a nerd and over 30.
All right. And as always, guys, you can follow me here on Twitter or Twitch and YouTube at Twitch channel at Transreskel. On the YouTubes, I am at Volt Chaos, that is my avatar there. And on everything else, I am at Transreskel also. So I hopefully should be back next Friday to do some more streaming. I don't know if what I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to because I am actually gonna be starting moving next week.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I might be on. I am not sure. I got to play by game because I also have to have internet and I got to transfer services and stuff like that. So hopefully, if not this week, next week, the week after, I'll be settled in and then start streaming again. So as always, guys, thank you very much and appreciate it.